What's the story, everyone? Welcome back. So, Hollywood finally figured out that if you put Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa in the same movie, you don't need subtlety, you don't need nuance, you don't even really need furniture, because it's all going to get destroyed anyway. And that's The Wrecking Crew. And on paper, it sounds like pure meathead cinema. But here's the twist. It actually tries to have a heart under all the broken bones and flip cars. So the setup is this. Batista and Momoa play half brothers from Hawaii who haven't spoken in years. Same dad, different mothers. And let's just say they didn't exactly grow up exchanging Christmas cards. Now, the father dies in what's ruled a hit and run. Case closed, tragic, move on. Except they don't buy it. Because this isn't just some random, oops, I didn't see him traffic accident. Their dad had history, shady connections, and enemies. The kind of past that doesn't usually end with a neat police report and a shrug. So the two brothers, who can barely stand being in the same room without wanting to punch something or each other, are forced back together to figure out what actually happened. And this is where the movie starts moving. Batista plays the older brother like a human brick wall, stoic, controlled, and the kind of guy who speaks in short sentences and long silences. You can feel the resentment in him, not just about their dad, but about Momoa's character too. There's history there, old wounds, the kind that never quite healed. And Momoa, on the other hand, is pure reckless charm. He's the younger brother who never quite grew up, smirks at the wrong time, and laughs when he probably shouldn't. He also treats danger like it's just a mild inconvenience. And that dynamic, well, it actually works. This isn't buddy cop banter. This is family trauma with fists. You get arguments that feel real, not the cheesy, we're mad but lovable stuff. These two genuinely don't trust each other. There's blame over who left, who stayed, who disappointed their father, and who wasted their potential. And yet, when things kick off, and they do, quickly they move together like instant takes over. Because blood's blood. Now, the investigation into their father's death spirals fast. What starts as a maybe it was an accident turns into uncovering ties to organized crime, dirty officials, and a cover up that goes way higher than either of them expected. There's a great mid movie reveal that shifts the whole thing from small scale revenge story to full blown warpath. Now, I won't spoil it, but let's just say the hit and run wasn't random, not even close. And then enters Pika. Now, Pika, played by Jacob Batalon from the new Spider Man movies, and he plays a similar character here, and he could have easily been the annoying sidekick comic relief character. You know, the one that you tolerate because the script says you have to. But surprisingly, Pika's great. He's this scrappy, street smart hacker mechanic hybrid that they run into in the wild while chasing the lead. He knows more than he lets on, he talks too fast, and constantly looks like he's wondering why he's even gotten involved with these two walking natural disasters. He's not as big, not as physically imposing, but he brings brains and chaos in equal measure. And the best part? He calls them out. There's this running thread where Pika keeps pointing out how absolutely unhinged it is that these two brothers think punching their way through grief is a strategy. It gives the movie breathing room. And honestly, some of the funniest moments come from Pika reacting to the brothers' testosterone fueled decision making. At one point, he literally asks, is there a version of this plan that doesn't end in an explosion? And Batista just stares at him like he's asked the dumbest question imaginable. Then there's the action, and it really delivers on the action. There's an ambush early on that really sets the tone. Momoa fights like a tank, every hit feels heavy, and every throw looks like it hurts. But it also looks almost playful, like he enjoys the chaos. But when he and Batista do fight together, it's brutal and weirdly synchronized. Years of not speaking, but they still move like they've done this their whole lives. There's a car chase through a crowded tight street that is absolute carnage, and ends with more big explosions. It's big, loud, unapologetic action, but thankfully shot in a way where you can actually see what's happening. No migraine inducing shaky cam nonsense. Now, does the movie have flaws? Of course. The villain isn't exactly groundbreaking. You've seen this type 100 times before. He's polished, controlled, operating 3 moves ahead, talks a lot about power and legacy. He works for the story, but he's not stealing the show. Also, some plot points are predictable. You'll see at least one betrayal coming from a mile away. And yes, occasionally the script does lean into, well, we need them here for the next set piece logic. But here's the thing, the emotional core of the brothers actually carries weight. There's a scene about two-thirds in where the action pauses and they finally talk about their father properly. No yelling, no punching, just raw resentment and regret. And Batista especially sells it. The guy has become one of the more solid dramatic actors in these action roles. He brings his heaviness that balances Momoa's chaos. The movie isn't just about revenge, it's about legacy and about what you inherit. Not just money or enemies, but personality, temper, and stubbornness. And it asks the questions, are they becoming their father while trying to avenge him? Now, it doesn't get over philosophical about it, but it's there. And then the third act hits, and all subtlety just leaves the building. There's car chases, motorbikes flying, helicopters on a motorway, and kidnapping. And then in the background, Pika trying to hack some systems while bullets fly all around him. And then there's the compound showdown. Multiple factions colliding, the brothers finally fully synced, tearing through henchmen like it's John Wick on steroids, but there's two of him. Now it's loud, ridiculous, and it's everything you want in a movie called The Wrecking Crew. Is it high art? No. Is it emotionally devastating prestige cinema? No, not even close. But I tell you what, it's entertaining as hell. It balances humor, action, and just enough heart that you care who walks away at the end. And most importantly, it doesn't pretend to be smarter than it is. It's about two half brothers who haven't spoken in years, trying to solve their father's suspicious death while rediscovering that they're not as different as they thought, through violence especially. So, my final verdict, if you're in the mood for a subtle indie drama, this isn't it. If you want muscular action, solid chemistry, and a surprisingly decent emotional thread, and a sidekick who keeps things from getting too self serious, you're going to have a great time. It's big, loud, and occasionally messy, but it earns its title because by the time the credits roll, you'll be like, yeah, they actually wrecked quite a bit. So, that's my take on the Wrecking Crew. Let me know, did it work for you? Did Pika steal the show? Or were you just here to watch Batista throw a few people through a few windows? Let me know in the comments and make sure to subscribe for more movie, TV show, and game reviews. Also, if there's anything you would like me to cover in the future, please let me know in the comments below. And well, that's all I've got to say about that. Good night.